Student, today we shall be going to study our part third of Mrs. Eddy's 1.5 written by Sheila K. Smith. In the third passage, the writer has focused that Peter Crouch and Tom, they were already very best friends. Together they were studying in the National School of Lambeth. Peter Crouch, after facing all this dilemma, when he came to the house of Mrs. Eddy's, then he requests Mrs. Eddy's to give him shelter for time being till the situation become normal. What's the meaning of this line? Here, this Vidler is a keeper. He knew very well, this Peter Crouch is the best friend of Tom, and he might have taken the shelter at the house of Mrs. Eddy's. So what happened? This Peter Crouch directly that welder, he came to the house of Mrs. Eddy's and directly he gave frequent visit. They were wondering. Their needle of suspicion was totally rotating nearby the house of Mrs. Eddy's. Okay. Then what happened? They gave the visit, and even Mrs. Eddy's, she does not know, it was an accident. Okay, he has not killed Tom intentionally. Okay, the quarrel has taken place between this keeper and Peter Crouch, but it was an accident. At the time of evening, there was a darkness, he could not make out, and in the exchange of the fire of bullet, what happened? The bullet of Tom, it pierced the body of Tom, and in this way Tom met with a tragic end. Okay, then what happened? Vidler, he knew very well, 100% Peter Crouch, he must have taken the refuge at the cottage of Mrs. Eddy's, but when he came, then after coming in the house, he was searching, he was having a conversation with Mrs. Eddy's, that Vidler. Then what happened with lantern? These four keepers, they came at the night, and at the night time, what happened? Echo of the footstep is very much audible. Who is coming on the road? Very much audible. You can hear it. Whenever dog barks, so the noise, sound of the barking dog it echoes. So then we come to know, yes, somebody is coming. But totally they were giving the frequent visit at the house of Mrs. Eddy's. So they were rotating their suspicion needle was totally on the house of Mrs. Eddy's. So what happened? He was Peter Crouch. Mrs. Eddy's, she has hidden Peter Crouch in the shed. There was a small shed, and where the piles of sack were kept. So there he was sitting, and on the kitchen door there was a small hole. So he used to see from the kitchen door who is coming in the house. Then he noticed that Vidler, he came in the house, and totally they were rotating there only in order to catch Peter Crouch. This Vidler, he was having confidence, he has taken the refuge there only. Okay, then next, both Tom and Peter, they were studying in the same school, and since childhood they were they were childhood friend, very best friend. But what happened? This Peter Crouch, he used to hunt. He was doing the hunting of rabbit and all, and this Tom is having his ancestral property of agriculture. So he was busy in his agriculture activities. And what happened when he came to the house of Mrs. Eddy's? He was too much exhausted, tired, and he requested Mrs. Eddy's to give him some supper meal. And what happened? Then she went in the kitchen. She started preparing a meal for this Peter Crouch, and at the same time she was on this expectation that Tom, he will come at any moment, any time, because he's working in the farm. So she was preparing the dinner for Tom. So then what happened? The frequent visit of these keepers made this Mrs. Eddy's very much disappointed. Why they are giving continuous visit, though crime Peter Crouch has committed. But what happened? She was also facing a dilemma. Okay, to cook the supper and meal for the Peter Crouch. Okay, so then what she says? She says that I am giving you at night 10 10 p.m. there is a from Tunbridge train is coming and it is going to London. So I am giving you 7 shilling. See, 7 shilling. Shilling is the lowest unit of the pound. Okay. So she went into the kitchen tower. From there, she brought 7 shilling and she offered to Peter Crouch. And she said that after eating this supper and dinner at 10 p.m. You catch the train and you go to your native house. Okay, so why? Because Mrs. Addis was very much fed up with this noises they were giving the visit. Okay, for example, you might have seen if any incident has taken place, suppose in your vicinity, surrounding neighborhood. So okay, what will happen? The police people, they are coming, they are taking the statement of the neighbor, they are giving torture. Okay, they are asking any question. Okay, when this incident had took place. Have you seen? Yes, probing. They are doing the probing. So what happened? We have nothing to do with that incident. Okay, but what happened? They are asking us. They are giving harassment to the neighborhood. Okay, so similarly, this Vidler he came and in this way started searching the Peter Crouch with lantern, and they were totally their suspicion was there only. Then next, Peter requests Mrs. Addis to offer him supper, and Mrs. Addis was busy in preparing the dinner for Tom. Keepers were on the patrolling. They were doing continuous patrolling in that vicinity. She gave 7 shilling to Peter for traveling to London, his native place. So in this way, she gave 7 shilling to the Peter so that he could reach at his house. Okay, so this is the main idea of the passage number 3rd. Now let's have a glance on the text, textbook page number 45. Mrs. Addis did not speak for a moment. Crouch looked at her beseechingly. Beseechingly means appealingly, to appealingly. You might do it for Tom's sake, he said. You haven't been an over good friend to Tom, snapped Mrs. Addis. But Tom's been a very good friend to me. He would want you to stand by me tonight. Well, I won't say he wouldn't, for Tom always thought better of you than you deserved. Maybe you can stay till he comes home tonight, then we can hear what he says about. Then she said that yes, I know very well, both of you are very old friend, best friend. So I think that tonight, okay, at the night time after finishing his agriculture activities, Tom will come at that time. You you take the dinner with him and you have a good time to spend. Okay, tonight you stay with Tom. Who says? Mrs. Addis. But Mrs. Addis does not know. Now Tom is no more, means he is dead. Okay, and that was an accident. And who killed that Peter Crouch? He killed by his bullet. Next, he will be up at work for an hour yet, and the coast will be clear by then. I can get away out of the country. Where will you go? I don't know. There is time to think of that. Well, you can think of it in here, she said dryly, opening a door which led from the kitchen into the small shed at the back of the cottage. They will never guess you are there, especially if I tell them I haven't seen you tonight. You are a good woman, Mrs. Addis. So what happened? She says that you hide yourself into the shed. Okay, and whenever they will come, I will tell them I have not seen that Peter Crouch tonight. Okay, I don't know. In this way, I will give the excuse and this keeper will return. So he says, Mrs. Addis, I want to leave the country. I am thinking to leave the country. Okay, once I will get the opportunity, directly I will leave this country. So then what happened? Mrs. Addis says that by the time you hide in the shed. So he was hiding himself in the shed. Next, you are a good woman, Mrs. Addis. I know I am not worth you are standing by me, but maybe I would have been different if I would have a mother like Tom's. Very important. What is saying? You are a good woman, Mrs. Addis. You are very good. I know I am not worth you are standing by me. He says that means at this moment, at this time, I did not deserve to stand in front of you. Okay, what crime I have committed? Okay, that I know what some man has been killed by my bullet. But you are very kind woman. You are supporting me. You are very good woman. And he says that if I would have got mother like you, then might have not be like this way. Okay, I means now he's a criminal. I would have not committed this crime if I would have got the good upbringing. Okay, like you. Okay, how you nourish your son Tom. Okay, if I would have got the mother like you, then my destiny would be somewhat different. So he says to Mrs. Addis. Then next what she says, she did not speak but shut the door, and he was in darkness save for a small ray of light, and came through one of the cracks. By this light he could see her moving to and fro, preparing Tom's supper. In another hour, Tom would be home from Iron Ledge farm where he worked every day. Peter Crouch trusted Tom to help him, for they had been friends when they went together to the national school at Lambhurst. And since the friendship had not been broken by their very different characters and career, both the Peter Crouch is having different characters and different career, and Tom is a farmer. Okay, he was looking after the farm. So both their friendship has not broken so far. Since childhood they were studying in the same national school at Lambhurst. Now their friendship is also strong. But what happened? It was an accident. Peter Crouch huddled down upon the sack that filled one corner of the shed. A delicious smell of cooking began to come through from the kitchen, and he hoped Mrs. Addis would not deny him a share of the supper. When Tom came home, for he was very hungry and he had a long way to go. So Mrs. Addis, she started cooking the supper meal for Tom and for this Peter Crouch also. But the smell was very good, aroma was scented, and in this way she was cooking the supper. And in the kitchen, that door, there was a small hole. He was looking after Mrs. Addis from the hole. Okay, and whoever coming in the house, so he can point out with the help of that hole. Okay, whenever keepers were coming in the house, at that time he was looking from there to the keepers. Then next is Mrs. Addis would not deny him a share of the supper. He had fallen into a kind of helpless doze when he was roused by the sound of footsteps on the road. For a moment, his poor heart nearly choked him with its beating. What happened? Whenever at the night time any person was coming, when the footstep noise comes, sound, so at that time his heart was throbbing. Means what? He feels suffocation. Okay, and thudding, heart was thudding, and nearby what happened? These heartbeats goes up, and they were the keepers. They were taking they took the lantern with them, and they were on continuous patrolling. They had guessed where he was with Mrs. Addis, his old friend mother. He had been a fool to come to the cottage. Nearly losing his self-control, he sank into the corner, shivering, half sobbing. But the footstep went by. The next minute, Mrs. Addis stuck her head into the shed. That was the keeper, she said shortly. I saw them go by. They had lanterns. Maybe it would be better if you slip out now and went towards Kensington. You would miss them that way and get over to Kent. There is a London train that comes from the Tunbridge Well at 10 tonight. That would be a fine thing for me, ma'am, but I haven't the price of a ticket on me. What happened? They were doing continuously patrolling, and from the cottage, she saw that outside there were keepers along with the lantern, and they were doing the search operation of Peter Crouch. They were searching, and she says that slowly she says, okay, to whom? To Peter Crouch, there are keepers. So I will tell you, when all these keepers, they will go away from my house, then I will give you indication. At that time you ran away, and at the time at 10 p.m. there is a train. You catch the train at 10 p.m. tonight. Tunbridge. Tunbridge is the train is coming from Tunbridge Well. Okay, and you travel and travel in this train, and you can go to the London. So he says that Mrs. Addis, I don't have ticket price, I don't have money. How can I will catch the train? Okay, then what happened? That would be fine thing for me. She went to one of the kitchen drawers. She went in the kitchen from drawers. She removed how much? 7 shilling. It will be your fare to London and a bit over. For a moment he did not speak. Then he said, I don't know how to thank you, ma'am. Oh, you need not thank me. I am doing it for Tom. She said that whatever I am doing for my son Tom. You and Tom were very means a childhood friend, very close friend, and this Mrs. Addis, she loved Tom very much, and she wants to keep she wants to maintain the friendship of both Tom's and this Peter Crouch, but she does not know what he has done. Okay, she was maintaining the friendship of Tom and Peter Crouch. I hope you won't get into trouble because of this. There isn't much fear. No one's ever likely to know you have been in this cottage. That's why I would sooner you went before Tom came back, for maybe he would bring a friend with him, and that would make trouble. So in this way, whatever support he was giving, moral and mental support to the Peter Crouch, that was by looking the friendship of so long friendship, Peter Crouch and Tom, she started helping, and but she does not know the actual incident, what has happened, and that was not the intention of Peter Crouch to kill purposely to Tom, but in the exchange of the bullet, this incident has taken place. So these are the main idea of the passage number 3rd, and all these points constitute to make the main idea of passage number 3rd. Now we shall be discussing passage number 4th. In passage number 4th, what happened? Mrs. Addis, she opened the door. She thought it is a Tom. It is the evening time, and she was in the expectation that it is a time of Tom. He is coming from the agriculture farm. Now he might be hungry, so she was preparing the supper and meal for Tom, and there were more than one man. Then what happened? She opened the door. She saw that there were what happened? There were more than one man, means Whittler, and along with his there were 3 keepers. They came to the house. Peter Crouch went back into the shed after hearing the sound of the footstep echo. So directly he went into the shed. Who? Peter Crouch. Whittler came into the room. He came into the room, and he started searching this Peter Crouch, but he was on the shed. Okay, he has hidden himself. He came. Then Peter, he sat on the piles of the sack. There were the piles of the sack. Sack, you know, that food grains we are keeping in that sack. Okay, sack is in the sack. What happened? All the food grains are stored. We are keeping, and by the needles, these farmers, what they are doing, they are stitching it, and then they are selling their agriculture product in the market. Okay, so there were the sack. Okay, pile of sack, huge amount of sack were kept. He was seated there, Peter Crouch. The keepers' suspicions were entirely on Mrs. Addis' house. Continuously they were giving the visit to the keepers. They are having the suspicion entirely on Mrs. Addis' house, because Whittler, he knew very well. Tom and Peter, they were close friends. So might be he has taken the refuge in the house of Mrs. Addis. So that's why directly he entered in the house. That's why they give frequent visit on Mrs. Addis' house. So that's why what happened? They gave very frequent visit. They gave very frequent visit on to the house of Mrs. Addis' house. So what happened? Then when they gave the visit, at that time they did not find Peter Crouch hidden in the house of Mrs. Addis. So these are the main idea of the passage number 4. She opened the door for him, but on the threshold, they both stood still, for again footstep could be heard. Approaching this time from the far south. Maybe it's Tom and Mrs. Addis. There were more than one man there, and I can hear voices. You would better go back, she said shortly. Wait till they have passed anyway. She says shortly, you go into the this shed, and when I will give the intimation, okay, at that time you take some decision, or don't come now. You go into the shed. With an unwilling shrug, he went back into the little dusty shed which he had come to hate, and she locked the door upon him. She locked the door. Then what happened? The footsteps drew nearer. They came slowly and heavily this time. For a moment, he thought they would pass also, but their momentarily dulling was only the crossing of the strip of grass outside the door. The next minute, there was a knock. It was not Tom then. Trembling with anxiety and curiosity, Peter Crouch put his eye to one of the numerous cracks in the door and looked through into the kitchen. He saw Mrs. Addis go to the cottage door, but before she could open it, a man came in quickly and shut it behind him. So this time, Peter, she thought that now Tom is Tom. He has reached the house. Okay, it is a Tom, but it is not the Tom. But they were creepers. So he made some other hole into the kitchen door so as to keep a watch in the house, who is coming and who is going. So Crouch recognized Widler, one of the keepers of Scutney Castle, and he felt his hand and feet grow leaden cold. They knew where he was then. They had followed him. They had guessed that he had taken refuge with Mrs. Addis. It was all up. He was not really hidden. There was no place for him to hide. Directly they opened the inner door. They would see him. Why couldn't he think of things better? Why wasn't he cleverer at looking after himself like another man? His legs suddenly refused to support him, and he sat down on the pile of the sack. So what happened? This Peter Crouch, after looking the Widler in the house, somewhat he was not feeling well. His anxiety and curiosity was reaching very high. His heartbeat was throbbing very fast. Okay, he feels suffocation. So what happened? Because he has committed a crime, no, the killing of one man. So that who was that one man? He don't know. Okay, and he was uncertain. He don't know that man to whom he has killed. Tom was his friend. So he knew only that much. What he did, he fired, and with his firing of the bullet, some man, whether he is alive or dead, he does not know. So they were giving continuous visit, and their visit increased the anxiety and disappointment of Peter Crouch. He was very much disappointed after looking this continuous visit of the Widler, and the Widler he was searching here and there, but they could not find out because he was hidden himself in the shed, and from the kitchen hole he was looking each and every activities, whatever happened in the house. Okay, and in this way the Peter Crouch, he was very much nervous. So this is the rule. Okay, if suppose anybody commits any mistake, so the police people, their duty is to do the investigation. They will go at any extent to reach at the accurate conclusion. They will ask, they will give harassment, they will use the third degree. Okay, it is very common. Okay, if any murder take place in your locality, what will happen? The police people, they will come. The police team, they will ask the question to each and every neighbor so as to reach at the accurate conclusion. Whatever reply you are giving, on the basis of that assumption, they will reach at the particular conclusion, and they will try to snap the culprit. So they were doing their duty, these creepers. They want to arrest that man this Peter Crouch. But what happened? Mrs. Addis, she handled this situation. Two predicaments she has faced. First one is she has given the refuge to the criminal. Who is the criminal? Peter Crouch. Peter Crouch is the criminal. Peter Crouch. Peter Crouch, he committed one mistake of fire. He fired, and Tom, he met with a tragic end. He is no more. He is dead. Second thing is that means when this police personnel, these creepers, when they entered in the house. And they were searching this Peter Crouch. He says that I have fired, but in my firing, one man, he is alive or dead, I don't know. So she knew this much, but she did not reveal. Mrs. Addis, does not reveal that culprit. He has taken refuge and shelter in my house. He is there. You go and arrest. Okay. So in this way, what happened? She want to maintain the friendship of her Tom and Peter Crouch. So she does not said anything, and they knew very well. They were the friend, and their suspicion needle is totally rotating in front of the house of Mrs. Addis. Totally, there was a doubt. Their doubt and suspicion were there only. So in this way, what happened? Mrs. Addis, she handled this situation. Then in the end, when she comes to know that Vidler, he says that Tom with Tom's bullet, Peter's Crouch bullet, this Tom, he has been killed by Peter Crouch, and that was an accident. Intentionally, he has not committed this crime. Okay, accident. For example, when you are driving a car, you are going with a speed. If anybody comes, unfortunately, accident takes place. So what will happen? Means it is not your intention to kill any person. Okay, by accident. The situation has happened, and exactly what happened, you are supposed to surrender yourself into the local police station, that I was driving a car and that man, he came in between, and in this way accident has taken place. So then law will follow its own course, and in this way later on you will be released. Okay, purposely you have not killed that man. So similarly, that was an accident. Intentionally he has not killed. Who? Peter Crouch. So in this way, what happened? First situation, Peter Crouch. Peter Crouch is a criminal. She gave refuge to the criminal. But law says that if you are giving refuge to the criminal, so you are equal participant in that crime. So you will be also behind the bar. That law says. Okay. But what happened? She then also she gave the refuge to whom? Peter Crouch, to maintain the friendship of Tom and Peter Crouch. So and second thing is that second was very dangerous. Means her own son, to whom he has killed, fired to this Tom. Tom's death. How she handled? So what would be the condition? Her own son has been killed by Peter Crouch, and she gave refuge. Then what happened in the end? What happened? When they brought dead body, so dead body they kept in the bedroom, and Mrs. Addis, she closed the door, and in this way she does not say that culprit is in the shed, and after looking at how to handle this situation, how to lessen the grief of Mrs. Addis. He could not know anything, and this Peter Crouch, he opened the door from the shed and he gave the exit. He went away, and from thereafter, this Mrs. Addis, she does not want to see the face of this Peter Crouch. Okay, so that was the end of the story, and in this way, this Mrs. Addis, she handled these two situations. Okay, and she does not weep, but her heart was totally broken. Why? Because her son is no more. So dear student, these are the main idea of the passage number 4, and all these points constitute to make the main idea of the passage number 4. So dear student, if you are having any doubt, queries, difficulties, then please you give your comment on our comment box section of the YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you.